Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to another installment of 2 Alpha News, the news show that the shooting community can use. I botched it, but it's okay. We're going to survive. I'm your host, Manny, with my wonderful co-host, Khory Katz.
Good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining us for the 8th episode of 2 Alpha News. You've put up with us this long. We're going strong now. This has been 2 months, so.
Yep. And Khory, do you want to show off our fancy guest?
Yeah, of course. Khory, meet Khory. Khory Scheel from Scheel's Manufacturing, one of the best buffer systems in town. Joining us, he's also here to talk about his new shooting sport, Falling Steel World Series. Welcome, Khory.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me.
Of course.
It's surprisingly enough, Corey's been on the show twice now.
Yeah.
We had him on a little bit for right after Open PCC Nationals, and we're going to talk about World Falling Steel for the most part this episode. But I want to remind everybody, thank you for joining us at 2 Alpha News. And you can find us on any social media, which is Facebook or Instagram, or YouTube and Rumble, I guess, if you want to call it those social medias. But go check us out, 2 Alpha News on Facebook and Instagram, or if you want to find us on YouTube or Rumble, search Manny Talk Shooting, and you will find us there. So we appreciate everyone out there in the chat already. We've got Matt Chua, the Chewy Cookie, and Chris Jenner from the 740. And he's also a Ohio guy, so you can't judge him too badly for being
and a PCC shooter, more importantly.
Well, I mean, but is he also a degenerate because he's also left-handed?
Yes, I mean, that's all the positives.
I mean, yeah, he's a guy from Ohio who shoots PCC and he's left-handed.
Right.
And he doesn't use an AR-9.
Right, that's the only downside is he doesn't use a Scheel's buffer system.
I mean, will you make it for the Ruger, Khory?
I haven't torn into the Ruger enough to know. I don't think so. I believe there's basically just a beefed up 1022. I don't think the buffer does much, but I could be wrong.
Mm-hmm. I've not torn into it either, but I think it works more like a lot more like the 1022 because they've got that bolt that's just like a square bolt.
Right.
So
I had one. I won one at Nationals a couple years ago, but I kept it brand new and then traded it to a gun shop brand new. I never even opened it.
Makes sense.
You did the transfer and then gave it to him?
Yeah, I know it was dumb, but yeah.
Right. Rick Powers from Ohio is also in the chat, like always. Thank you, Rick
What's up,
Powers.
Rick?
I've not met Rick in person yet, which I need to make that happen at some point.
Well, go to more matches, Alex.
I'm always in Ohio, darn it. I'm going to all the matches.
You don't shoot DSS. That's where Rick shoots some. So
I mean, how far is that from Cleveland?
Hour.
Oh, that's not terrible. Maybe when I'm on another work trip in Ohio.
And it's right on the highway, so not too bad.
Yeah.
That's a trip. We'll make a trip. I'll make it at some point. So, Khory Katz, did you do anything in shooting this weekend?
No, I didn't. I had a couple of events over the weekend, was at a wedding, so I did not go shooting.
That's fair enough. I didn't do much shooting, but I did a lot of shooting-related things, like sit in front of my computer, did SketchUp, and other things. So 2024 is around the corner, and I'm not liking this. I mean, I'm excited for the next season, but there's so much crap to get done before May.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. And that's the challenge that we're having, or that I'm having, is, between work. I didn't have an off season last year because of match directing and everything. And it doesn't look like I'm going to have much of an off season this year because of the same. So I'm just starting to get a little fried, but
yeah,
it's all good.
So our friend Khory was at his own match, but you can personally talk about it, but we'll talk about the logistics of the match a little bit later in the show. Go ahead, though.
Yeah, so we had our third Falling Steel World Series match. We held it down at Rowan County Wildlife Association, which is in North Carolina, sort of like the central part of the state. That's where the Area 6 match is. Carolina Classics there. It's kind of a big range in that area.
So you've been down there three matches now down at Rowan this year?
Well, this was our first Falling Steel match there. We had one at Cardinal, one just north of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and then this was the third one down at Rowan.
But you went to Area 6 this year, Carolina Classic, and then Falling Steel.
Correct, yes. And I was at Area 6 last year down there. I've been to that range a few times. It's a nice range.
Yeah, you and Khory have both been there. I have not been there yet, but
it is a nice range.
Somewhat on the list.
Although they don't allow alcohol at the range.
This
So
is
the
sad.
the drinking light for the staff dinner at Area 6 was not on.
That is disappointing.
No, it was. Well, it's just a large range, and there's a lot of different groups there, and that's kind of typical for some big ranges. They keep it dry.
Yeah, it's also owned by the county, so I think that's another part of it.
So they are private. I thought that as well, that it was county owned, and I believe it used to be, but they are private now.
Gotcha. Did you have to have someone from Rowan there with you at all times, or?
So they did give us like a key card to get in ourselves and do our thing, because we were like technically renting the range from them. But John Royer was there the entire time, and just a fantastic range liaison and our title sponsor with Outdoor Dynamics. So I just couldn't be more thankful for all the help that he did, and as a sponsor, and then just in setup and just making things run smoothly there at the range. He was very helpful.
Awesome. Did you get a chance to use any of those fancy dancy Scheel manufacturing driver bits?
We did. I had one of mine on my driver, and John had the 3D printed competitors version on his driver, and they both held up fine. I was able to stand up while I was doing mine. He was bent over, and but he did say that they did break one of the 3D printed ones during setup for Carolina, but he does not believe that it's the fault of the bit. He thinks it's the people running it are using it harder than it should be. So that's definitely something that can happen,
Right.
A lot of people sell hammers and a lot of people break hammers, and it is what it is,
For sure. Alex knows this. I haven't told Khory yet, but we have 9 of the big stake pullers at Cardinal, and I bent the Jesus out of one the other day. Mm-hmm. And Dan Click looks at me and he says, "Khory, you need to tell Khory Scheel that he needs to do some better R&D work on these." And I said, no. This was all us.
So, was that the one you tried to hand me at that match?
Heck yeah.
Oh, and then I'm like, what the hell am I doing with this?
Yeah, the head's a little bit on an angle.
Yeah,
so
I've got one with a curved handle as well. We tried to use it as a nail puller for actually like a nail, or actually it was a screw in wood. And you can bend them if you put that much ass behind them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then I tried to bend it back, and I bent it even more, so it's not a good day.
Yeah.
So. Now, I knew if I called them unbreakable that people would be testing that, twice a weekend.
It just bent.
Yeah. Okay. There you go.
You should call them unbreakable, and then, hey, sorry, it didn't break, it bent.
It's just twisted into a pretzel, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's. There was a couple matches I want to talk about, and then we will fall into Falling Steel. Ha 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 ha! Funny. The Rimfire Challenge Shooting Association World Championships presented by Ruger. If anyone doesn't know, it's a pistol rifle combined sport. You shoot one box. You shoot the stage twice, essentially. Once with a rifle, and then once with a pistol. It's kind of cool. They actually started this at Brooklyn this year, so that was kind of interesting. The winner of the entire match, this is the combined results if anyone cares they're looking, is Jesse Misko, open and limited.
That's quite interesting. How many people are basically shot both divisions, which that doesn't surprise me. Mm-hmm. But, if you scroll back up, so Jesse shot open and limited was roughly 3.5 seconds off of 3.5% difference, about just under 3 seconds difference between open and limited. I'm guessing it's iron sight versus open sight, optic sight.
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
But then Lance was also right neck and neck with himself, and then Caleb neck and neck with himself, and then Bryce neck and neck, Zack, and you just keep going down the list, and you see all these people that are shooting irons and optics basically the same or close to it.
Yeah, well, and that's the cool part. They're pretty much shooting, fancy 22s, and Adam Reno, honorable mention right here in the 7th. He's I want to say a Steel Challenge world champion as well. So these probably very young people are still crushing it. So
Oh yeah, Brad Jeffers is he is associated with Chet Wyatt and CWA. You've got a bunch of other people here. Steve Foster of the Steel Target Paint podcast. So yeah, there's a ton of people. It's kind of a who's who for Steel Challenge there this last weekend.
Yep. Yep. Steve Foster. I see that. Yeah. So 214 entries, if that be guns or people. Definitely a cool match to look out. I didn't know that this was happening until I saw that Brian was there. So he did a couple lives from there. Something to check out if you're interested in Steel Challenge, but don't have a Steel Challenge major match in your area.
Not steel, like that's not falling steel. That's plate steel, right?
Right. Yeah. It's like steel. It's pretty much Steel Challenge without being called Steel Challenge.
Okay.
We had some of the Ruger people, Team Ruger. They had Ruger on their jerseys. Come through our match. I believe they were shooting that match, or had just shot that match as well.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. All right, the next match. Do you want to pull this one up, Mr. Katz?
Sure.
Is the Primary Arms Space City Challenge in Houston, Texas, or wherever, some suburb of Houston. Not honorable mention, I guess. Notable fact is 31 DQs and 27 no-show shooters for the match. Kind of surprising. It was almost 10%. It was like 350 total shooters at the start of the match. Ended with a total of like 300 and... Oh, so they finally deleted everybody. So
nope, not really.
Nope. Oh, they still left all the deletes in there?
Or the non-deletes? These are a bunch of zeros, but basically, I mean, it looks like these are people that started the match and didn't finish, because this person, some of these are total zeros, but some of them have like, 2 alphas, 23 alphas, 8 alphas. So these are people who started the match, and some of these people are people who started the match and didn't finish.
Yeah, or is it possible that somebody just typed something on their for that shooter and then backed out?
I mean, possible, yes. I wouldn't expect that you'd see 20 of them.
No, I wouldn't expect that either, but a lot of DQs in this match. But let's talk about the winners of this match.
Yeah, so you've got Max Leograndis, Limited Optics National Champion, also won this match.
Yep, Tom Castro beating out JJ Rakaza in Carry Optics division.
Yes, sir. Henning Wahlgren in Open.
Which is nice to see. Henning is a beast in maker of products and in the shooting field. Looks like top PCC, Daniel Jung.
Yep, and then you've got to go way down here.
Oh, there's a limited guy.
24th and limited.
Yep. Vin Larn, maybe?
Yep.
Or Lamb.
And then if you keep scrolling down, do they have anybody else? It doesn't seem like they have anybody of note.
Not if we've got to scroll this far.
And then, it seems like all these other divisions are pretty well beat there, Alex.
Yeah, like they had a plenty in Carry Optics, Limited Optics, like production. They only had, there were 17 people in production, so I guess it's not terrible turnout. Single stack.
And they had nine people in single stack. 8 of them finished the match.
Yeah, there's a lot of... Go ahead, Mr.
So
Scheel.
is that a USPSA match or... Yeah. Okay.
Yep, this is their first year running a major at this range. So there was, from what I heard from shooters there's a lot of admin things that kind of bled over on match day to not be very great for the shooters, but they live and they learn, right? There's always going to be growing
first
pains.
one, what can you do?
And that may very well be the reasoning behind some of these people who started the match and didn't finish. You never know.
There might have been staff members that just didn't have an opportunity to even finish.
Possibly, yeah.
Yep. So, and then the last USPSA match I'm going to talk about, I will bring it up on my screen very fast. Bam. Is the Badlands Shootout New Mexico Sectional, which was a one-day format match, which I'm liking.
I shot that last year.
Oh, yeah, because wasn't Da Vinci one of the title sponsors on that one?
Yes, we were. We hadn't been out west much, so that was kind of one of our traveling matches. It was one day last year as well. I think 10 stages in one day.
Mm-hmm. Which I think is a very fair, 10 stages in one day is very doable for most shooters, right?
Mhm.
You can take you've got enough people in your squad to rotate if you're staff. Hopefully there's 3 or 4 of you,
Yeah.
so you're taking care of all the shooters. Hopefully half the squad is staff, so it's not a big burden. Um, Honorable note, the high overall in the match was Mr. Charlie Perez in Limited Optics. He did beat out Tim Herron. PDCC Curtis Brotherston coming in second overall in the match.
That's interesting though. So you've got Glenn Shelby in limited, 98.18% of Charlie Perez. So there you go again. Someone shooting an iron sighted gun and really sticking with the optics.
Yes, this is true.
Sorry, I
and
was laughing because Corey's on his cell phone and he leans right in.
Yeah, squinting in.
it is quite comical to watch, but we had Christian Magaling. Sorry if I botched any names. Winning carry optics for the match. Open division won by my buddy, fellow team 2 Alpha Apparel team member Chase Rains, the bearded shooter, taking open. Let's see, did I miss any other?
Is Gabor in there? My buddy Gabor, PCC.
Let's look. I can
Doesn't
pull.
seem
I'll
like
make
it.
it a little easier.
I'm on my tablet here looking. I would expect him in the top 10, so he probably wasn't there.
Oh, he doesn't look
No.
like he was there.
Nope,
No.
he's not. He did not show up, which was sad. And then it takes forever to find anyone shooting low cap, which is not the end of the world. But there's a single stat guy. So anyway, there's what we have. There's
Paul
the
Kerr.
Yeah, no, it was not Paul Kerr. It was some other Paul or some other Kerr. Now I'm gonna look.
Single stack.
Paul Cusper.
Oh, Paul Cusper.
You were, same for, right. Same. Yeah, anyway, so there is the major USPSA matches that happened last weekend. So congratulations to all the winners and the second winners, or the first losers, I like to call them. But hey, we are here, and Mr. Khory Scheel has joined us. So we are going to talk about World Falling Steel, or Falling Steel World Series.
Khory, let's talk first. Tell us about the stages.
So we travel with 7 stages of falling steel. We typically were renting ranges and setting these stages up, but we are possibly talking about maybe a range renting us as opposed to it being the other way. So anyway, 7 stages, about 25 to 35 pieces of hinged steel. So they aren't on pound ins where they fall to the ground. Everything is hinged, easy to reset. About 25 to 35 plates per stage. Our whole philosophy behind it was a 30-second reset. So we really, it's about getting shooters through it. We shoot 7 stages, like I said, around 30-ish plates per stage in 3 to 3.5 hours.
Okay. Awesome. And then, so tell us a little bit about scoring.
So your time is your score. A lot of the top guys, especially like the top PCC and open guys, are having some sub 10-second runs. There's a lot of 9-second runs, pretty good run. But we have lots of people that are shoot 30 and 40-second runs.
Yeah.
Your time is your score. There is a 60-second par time, so if you get to 60 seconds and haven't cleared everything yet, we add 5 seconds per plate that's left standing to your time. So the people that we get revolver shooters, single stack, guys that maybe aren't able to clear everyone, they're still able to differentiate themselves from everyone else by the number of targets that they were able to get down.
Makes sense.
Yep.
Makes sense. So you look at Zack Smith. So you guys had 7 stages this last weekend, like we talked about earlier. Zack Smith did win the match overall in PCC Optics. Shot it in 74 seconds, so which means on average he was shooting just a hair over 10 seconds a stage. I'm sure there were some. I've shot this. I've had a great time shooting it. I'm sure there were some sub 10-second runs and some over 10-second runs, but it's a lot of fun.
It's hard to have this much fun in this short amount of time without. Well, otherwise you're either resetting the whole time. Like in 3-gun, it feels like to shoot 4 stages, you're there for 8 hours and you're just resetting the entire time.
Yep.
Or, it's hard to get a balance between having a squad that's small enough to where you feel like you're shooting often enough, but you're not doing all the work.
Right.
So we've kind of found that balance here. We run our maximum squad size is like 16 or 17 people, which sounds like a lot, but when we're averaging like a minute 20 seconds per shooter, it's still you're in and out of a stage in 20 minutes. So the most you're waiting is 20 minutes to shoot, and most people have the amount of patience to do that.
Awesome. Yeah, it's a great time. Brian from Hunters HD Gold asked, Brian was at your first match at Cardinal. His favorite state, by the way, Ohio.
He hates the flag, just so you know.
He asked, based on the first match that you had earlier in the year, and obviously you just did another one, what was your biggest takeaways for putting on this match for other new ranges that want to adopt something like this?
As far as someone else putting this match on themselves, I think you need to look at the steel targets are really the important part as far as efficiency. You need to have efficiency in your mind, kind of at every step of the way, in order to get this off in the amount of time that we do. Again, I said like we're renting ranges and bringing our targets to different ranges right now. And so, I mean, if there's a club that's interested in that, certainly get a hold of us. We're looking for like 7 pits in a row. We could cut it down to 6 and maybe up the target number in each one, or potentially cut it to 8 and decrease the target number if we needed to add shooters. So we are a little flexible there.
Yeah, and you all heard it here, folks. Khory is also looking to, at some point, possibly do it in the opposite order, where they are contracted to bring in all the steel, but the range takes care of all the payment and takes the risk. So if someone wants to bring them in for a flat rate, that can also be discussed with Khory.
Right, and like the ranges that we've used so far, I've had a pretty good presence, and I know people around, so I'm able to gather staff. Mm-hmm. Where if we, I had a range contact me this week from Las Vegas, and I don't know anyone out there that would be potential staff. So that's one of those scenarios where we would rather not take the risk ourselves and rent the range. We would rather, help the range put on the match.
Right. Well, it's hard too. Especially if you're dragging steel all the way out there, that's a long drive for Oli to make by himself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, we're going to have to look at the numbers and just see if it makes sense for everyone. But there's a 10,000 pounds plus steel that needs to go from Ohio or Pennsylvania to wherever we're going.
Yeah. So let's start out with Carry Optics here, and we'll hop in with some results. We've got Brian Nelson, who where's Brian from, Khory? Do you know?
So Brian, I think he's from like the Virginia area currently. I think he used to live in Utah and then moved recently to the East Coast.
Gotcha. So he's relatively local to Rowan. Then you've got Thomas McCaskill. Billy Barton, of course, we know that name from some USPSA shooting. A couple honorable mentions here. We've got John Wooten, who is an Ohio guy, came down. Looks like he worked the match for you guys.
Yep, one of our pro staffers.
And then, so you had 36 people in Carry Optics.
Well,
you had one person in fun.
Yeah, one person in fun. But for people who don't know, Carry Optics, is it pretty much a mirrored division like from USPSA, or is it tweaked?
So yes, currently we are pretty much mirrored USPSA. We are a little more lenient on magazine size. We are 141 and a half instead of a quarter, and that's just so we don't have to pump people to open as often.
Makes sense.
But other than that, it is pretty much mirrored USPSA. We are talking about lumping the limited optics in with them as well. Currently, limited optics are in open, and we think it fits with carry optics a little better.
Makes sense. Makes sense. So, hopping into limited auto, we've got John Wooten in first, John Royer in second, and Chuck Lowe in third.
Only if John's ammo let him shoot faster.
Yeah.
Or miss less.
He's got those missiles, but clearly they are not laser guided.
Knowing him, he probably shot his limited gun. Knowing him.
Well, he did. It's limited auto. Limited auto is basically limited auto. Correct me if I'm wrong, Khory. Limited auto is limited in loosely limited in USPSA. Open auto is basically open in USPSA, right?
Right.
Matching these up
And
to you.
that is just to differentiate them from like limited revolver and open revolver.
Right. So you also heard that people can shoot revolvers in this match, including an optic-sighted revolver. Mm-hmm. So, if you're crazy and want to bring out those wheel guns with optics on them, this is your match.
Yeah. So we had 3 people in low cap irons, which I would call single stack, because Garrett Heinrich, or the Blue Bullet Beaker, came in first, and followed by Nathan Carter of Shooting Sports Innovations, and Frank Phillips in third.
Low cap open.
Why?
Michael Orwin and Bob Cherry.
Why would you shoot open low cap? That sounds like I want to go fast, but I live in New York.
So I believe that was their second entries, and I think it's the same thing with our low cap irons. So it isn't restricted to single stack guns only. You could bring your limited gun and shoot it in 2 different divisions if you only loaded your mags to 10 rounds. Mm-hmm. And then it'd be the same thing for open. Those people probably shot twice, and their second gun, they wanted to load their bags to 10.
Well, it's a lot easier logistically, I think, to bring one gun with, instead of having to bring 2 guns, 2 sets of mags, 2 sets of ammo. So that makes sense. But it makes my heart hurt as an open shooter, be like, why would you do that to yourself? We have the big sticks for a reason.
Yeah, right. Not big sticks for a reason, right?
Yep, just like they made 55 round Magpul drums for PCC.
Exactly.
But the falling steel sport is pretty popular up into New England, where there are some 10 round states. So this lets those people come play without having to spend new money.
Well, you guys are relatively unique too, Khory. Correct me if I'm wrong. That you have divisions that allow you to be more than 10 rounds. If you were telling me about East Coast Steel, or I forget what exactly the match name was, but you had said that their whole thing is PCCs are 30 round maximum and the pistols are 10 round maximum, and that's the whole match. Is that correct?
Right. I'm not sure about the PCC restriction, but yes, there are some that are 10 round completely. The Long Island Falling Steel match is a big match, and they're 10 rounds across the board. Now that's just because there's state law.
Right. Yeah, I've seen you reload a couple times in those stages. It was kind of interesting.
Yep. Yeah, and the other thing that's interesting, the Falling Steel tend to have 10 rounds in every mag, not an 11 round first mag, and usually there's no barney.
Right.
So you are counting to 9 and then reloading, and then counting to 10 and reloading. And then there's a good chance that on your 11th one, you might be on the last plate. So you might not reload because 30 plates, 31 round, it gets interesting on how to count. It's not just count to 10.
Yeah. It's almost like steel challenge or 3-gun. You need that match saver bullet, right? Right next to the gun. Kind of like the
right. Yeah.
Round. So in open auto, we've got David Lyle of MPA, Patrick Chamberlain, and Matthew Wolf of Do Stuff Better, I believe.
Yep.
Make stuff better. They're making our trophies actually for this match, so we will have trophies after being sent out after this match.
Yeah, he and his dad are Matt and Brian are great people. And then you had Ray Donch come down with you, another local Western Pennsylvania guy. He was working for you guys?
No. We had a group I think 4 guys from like the Pittsburgh area that just came down to shoot the match. And they did end up, they weren't technically staff, but they did end up self-ROing their squad on Saturday, just because we were slightly short and we knew that they were capable. And so we put, there's a bunch of them that are actual CROs. And so we put them all together and let them run themselves.
Nice. You've got a open revolver. Jeff Yang did come out and play.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't look like you had any iron-sighted revolvers this match. And then we get into the fun stuff, in my opinion. PCC irons. Brian Nelson at 79 seconds, followed by Tom Buren and AJ Campbell.
Wait, what are the bumpy things? I don't know how bumpy things work.
Got this post thing with a little dot, sometimes.
I think it's interesting if you look at Brian's. Brian was 3rd overall for the match, so
Right.
PCC irons, he was something, and he actually had a few, or maybe it was just one, but he had a stage win on stage 1. I know, overall a stage win shooting irons. So
Right.
He's really something with that, and he can shoot his carry optics gun pretty good too.
I keep joking with Lauren from MPA and a couple of the other guys in Hyder that I'm going to shoot a MPA Defender in PCC one of these times. So I've got access to one. That would be a fun gun. Literally, I don't know if you've ever seen one of those. It's got a post in the front that doesn't move, and the back plate has a hole in the top. Those are your iron sights.
Okay, so like a ghost ring scenario.
Exactly, but it's not. I mean, it's not a ghost.
Yeah, crude.
It's crude. So some of them have a rail on the top, and if I was going to shoot it, I feel like I'd be already disadvantaged enough. So I probably would put an optic on it.
It's okay. So if anyone cares,
Brian shot the match in flip flops.
So wait, is he Luigi Lee now?
I guess, yeah.
Shooting in flip-flops? There you go, Khory.
Alex, this is a very, very high class defender right there.
I mean, it's the one at least they put on their website. So
Right.
at least
There's more. Scroll down.
Oh.
Go to pistols. Beautiful, by the way. I mean,
okay.
I mean, it's kind of coyote. I'd call this coyote. I wouldn't call it OD green. So I mean,
right.
it's
and
points.
then go to 9mm.
Oh, I know. You gotta get the 5.7, bro.
And then the middle
it's like
one.
a Mac or something weird.
The middle one. And those actually have nicer sights than the one I've seen.
No, you got to go with the super cheap one. You got to get like the 5.68 one.
Yeah.
I like how the magazine's at like exactly 90 degrees to the barrel.
Oh, yeah. And I guess this is what they really like, one of the things they started in. This is the same MPA as what we know from the pistols and the long-range chassis.
I do love the logo on it, not going to lie.
Oh, for sure.
That's pretty legit. I mean, it's kind of like a Mac 10 looking thing where you're just like,
right.
It's pretty dope. All right.
The funny part is Andrew Hyder basically sells them, and he said that they sell 300 a year at his company.
Oh, at where he actually his day job. Yeah. Rick Powers wants to throw up now. He's just waiting for his actual MPA pistol to show up at his house in 14 weeks.
Khory, I'll make you a deal. If I can arrange to shoot one of those, will you shoot one with me?
Absolutely. Oh, okay. Yeah. Irons. I don't want to screw up my main division,
For a whole year.
We'll do it for Falling Steel. Next, at Cardinal Shooting Center, Falling Steel, we'll shoot iron sight defenders.
Sounds good.
Akimbo,
awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
You're going to shoot one in one
hand? Two. There you go. Oh, I don't know if that's against our rules or not. I'm going to have to study my rule book.
Make an addendum.
The one pager.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, in PCC Optics, we have Zack Smith, followed by Jeremy Lorman and Charles Linker. And then Corey Scheel, of course, in 6th. We talked about it earlier. He had a couple malfunctions.
Yeah, and then
I had one stage where I got a 380 bullet in my chamber, and so then I used my mulligan and put the exact same bullet back in my magazine and did it again.
Yeah, That's unfortunate. Honorable mention in 13th, Miss Jessica Dorian of Team Make Stuff Better, hanging out down there. She did
Yeah,
win lady.
Jess got high lady. Yeah, so we had 3 juniors at the match: Dylan Walker, Sophia Byram, and Jessica Carter. The ladies, we had 13 ladies at the match, and Jessica Dorian was our high lady. Sophia Byram was our number 2, and Annie Unsel was number 3. She is one of the Ruger people that traveled around and was at a few matches. And then we had 22 seniors in the match, with Jim Meeker winning the high senior. Abraham Rees and Ray Donch are my number 2 and number 3.
Awesome. And Khory, tell me, in my opinion, this is one of the coolest parts, mainly because I created the spreadsheet. But tell me about the coolest part of Falling Steel World Series.
Oh, so about 1 in 5 shooters are going to win money. We take $10 from every entry and goes into the prize pool in that division. We do a Lewis class payout, which is based off of a old shotgun payout system. So generally, let's say if we had, say, like 35 people in a division, that would give us 2 classes. And so the first class, like 1 through 5, would get paid out, and then like 21 through 25 would get paid out. So that allows there to be some kind of random money down throughout the standings, but the top people still get paid. So that brings those people out, and then the random kind of satisfies the masses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to be able to give somebody basically cash at the end of the match that didn't win. So
Yep. And this isn't something we invented. The PSA Shootout Falling Steel match has been doing this for 20 some years, and we kind of just it seemed to be pretty good there. I won some money a couple years ago when I was there, and said this is really cool, and so we copied their format.
We just have a much nicer spreadsheet.
Yeah. I couldn't have done that myself, that's for sure. Khory spent some time making the payout calculator. Now it's really nice. You just enter a few things in, and it tells you who gets paid and how much.
Yep, for sure. And then, did you guys do the Tip Your RO raffle again?
Yeah, so we did the Tip Your RO 50-50. It was $430 some. So 230 or 217, I'm sorry, to the winner, and 217 got the ROs decided to split it. So that's what they did, and so yeah, that's a really great way to give back to the ROs, help them with some of their traveling expenses, and we couldn't do it without them.
Yeah, so you guys aren't like nationals. You don't give this huge like $375 travel stipend and a half of a hotel room or anything like that?
I mean, we covered some of the hotel rooms, and we we try to take care of our staff. We're not gonna continue if we can't.
I know.
We did have really great prize packages for the staff this time from the sponsors, so they did get some good certificates.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Well, speaking of sponsors, who ended up sponsoring this match?
So our title sponsor was Outdoor Dynamics. They make competition-ready ammo for PCCs and pistols. We had 5 or 6, other sponsors, got sort of mid-level sponsors. Hunters HD Gold's come on. They've been on for all of our matches. Summit City Bullets.
So you got those certs in time then?
Oh, yes. Yeah, they came right the day before I was leaving. They got here, yeah. Steel Valley Casting, another great bullet company on board. FGS Engineering, they do a lot of like 3D printed stuff, some stage building kits and stuff like that. They're pretty cool. They're on this time.
The question is, are they Are they scaled to Lego people or actual scale?
Oh, I do not know that. I'm not sure.
Here's the real question: do they have a stage building kit for Falling Steel World Series yet?
I don't think they have our inline plate racks yet, and so that would be kind of necessary. But
Yeah.
I think they do have our poppers, and I don't know about the mini torsos either. But I'm not sure yet.
I'm just joking. So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
Who else was on board? EGW. I think I already mentioned them.
Did Da Vinci sponsor the match?
No, Da Vinci was not a sponsor of this match.
What the heck, David? Come on, man.
Hey,
Was MPA there?
No, MPA was not there either.
That's sad.
I know I'm missing someone. I should have this right in front of me, but
it's okay because Brian says y'all need to go back and watch Power Slap 5 from last night. That was exclusively on Rumble. What an amazing new sport to get behind. Part of the TKO group that owns UFC and WWE. Fast, slapping, fun. I mean, they probably make a lot of money to try to get knocked out with slaps.
Yeah, one of these days we're gonna have to get Brian on there.
Oh, there we go.
Well, Brian would totally be that guy who's like, I'll catch him. I'll catch you when you fall. I got you.
No. We need to get him slapping.
Oh, no. You can't slap Brian. He's got a face for sales. It can't be beat up getting slapped. But he would totally be the guy catching it and then staring at the camera with his Hunter's HD Gold or his Active Blues on.
Yeah, that's the way. There you go. Mm-hmm. He'll say Hunter's HD Gold.
Yeah. So Khory,
something new we did for this match was the mulligan. I don't know if you saw any of this yet. So we decided we were going to sell a mulligan, and you could buy the mulligan for $20 before your match started, and that gave you the opportunity to reshoot a stage before your squad left the stage. And that added a new aspect to this game. Some people used their mulligan to erase 1 second and then later had malfunctions that cost them 15 seconds. So there was definitely some gaming going on there too.
So the question on the mulligan is it, do you have to call it right after your run is over, or can you wait to be like, I've watched everybody shoot and I'm like, oh, I want to mulligan this?
So at the end of your squad shooting, we kind of called like last call. It was kind of how it went. So like when the final shooter of your squad finished that stage, we said, okay, we're done with the stage. Last call. Does anyone want to use their mulligans? And because you had to use them before your squad left that stage.
Okay.
Which logistically makes sense because you don't want to have to go back. I'm like, I got to go back to stage 1. It's like,
Yeah, no, it already slowed us down because, I mean, now we had a lot of people shooting 8 stages instead of 7 in that amount of time.
Right.
But I think it was great. There were, it let people that had their malfunction or, they were trying out a new magazine, a big mag, and it didn't work. And so it didn't wreck their entire match because your score is your total time for the match. So a second on stage 1 is the same as a second on stage 5. So it really doesn't matter where you're spending the seconds. They all are adding up.
For sure. Brian is saying that he doesn't remember buying the mulligan at the first one, of course, because we didn't have them. But he said he would have bought, it looks like he would have bought 7 of them.
Yeah, so we're only allowing 1 per division. So you have to kind of choose what stage you're going to use it on. But yeah, I've had some USPSA people, when I brought this up and we were discussing this, they said, man, we could make a killing selling mulligans at USPSA major matches.
Yeah.
God, you know how much of a pain in the ass that would be, though? Be like, logistically, just be like,
it would be fine.
I'm going to be in the negative. I love the idea of it, but like, all the people be like, do I want to mulligan this? Do I want to mulligan this? And then they're hemming and hawing and gaming it, right? Like, oh man, could I break another second off this? Could I increase my hit factor by 1?
It's like a reshoot. It's like the reshoot gods,
Hey, when I say about the reshoot is if you've got the skill to do it the first time, you've got the skill to do it the second time.
But you don't get to, like Khory mentioned, you don't get to pick and choose. It's a mulligan. So you do it over. Your old score gets deleted, and you take the new score, whatever it happens
that's
to be.
just like it's just like a reshoot. But I'm saying like your skill wise, right?
Right. No, I agree. So
this is
have you seen our inline plate rack stage?
I have, obviously.
No.
So it's essentially 5 inline plate racks, and there's 6 plates per rack. The front 2 plates are 8-inch rounds. the middle 2 plates are 6-inch squares, and then the back 2 plates are 6-inch rounds. So they get further away from you as they get smaller. They kind of tend to hide. They're hidden behind the ones in front. And some people will shoot so fast that they're hitting those front targets 3 and 4 times each before they're down and out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
And the fast way is really to watch the target fall and break the shot as soon as it's out of your way for the target behind it.
Mm-hmm.
And
aim for the corners, the squares.
well, that too. You need to have the visual patience and actually see what's going on with the targets as they're falling to do it the fastest way.
Yeah, for sure.
And Zack and Brian were kind of joking around, and Zack says, "What do you think? You think I should just machine gun it?" Because he has a 50-round drum. And so Brian goes, "Oh yeah, just machine gun it." So he's just shooting as fast as he can, and again, he's shooting the front plates 3 or 4 times each. And anyways, 50 rounds, he finishes. He's got 3 plates left, has to do a reload, and so the last 3 plates, so he spent 53 rounds to do 30 plates.
And not because he's missing, but because he was
hitting them so many times. So he decides, okay, I guess I've got that mulligan. I'll use the mulligan, Identical. He runs dry with 3 plates left again and does the reload, and it's a second slower. So the mulligan hurt him.
Gotcha. That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
So the thing we were laughing at a minute ago is Brian from Hunters HC Gold says USPSA would be out of the hole selling mulligans.
Yeah.
God, it's kind of just like your money to arbitration, right? Like sell mulligans, money goes straight to the org if you lose.
Although, I was at this last Handgun Nationals, there was an arbitration that ended up getting upheld.
So the guy got his $100 back.
Yeah, he got his $100 back.
I still think.
They did take it out of the rules that if you arbitrate something, it used to be that the arbitration fee got sent into USPSA and NROI, and now it gets kept by the club. I always said that the arbitration, if your stage gets arbitrated and you win, or not you win, but the arbitration does not get upheld, the stage crew should get the $100 and call that beer money.
Yeah. Beer money. Well, it depends. Is the drinking light illuminated?
Doesn't matter. We can do that after hours.
This is true.
Anyway.
I did have a couple questions about Falling Steel World Series. Khory, have you thought about doing a shootout style stage after the main match has concluded?
Yes. I love shoot-off style stages. I would love to have one every day at our match if we could. It just comes into logistics and time is really the thing. I would love to see shoot-offs in every USPSA major as well. IPSC does it a lot, and I think they're a lot of fun, and I would love to get to have more of them all across the board. It's just how do you schedule it in to make it work, money-wise and time-wise.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe it's just me thinking this, but maybe IPSC does a shootout more often due to the fact that their round count is somewhat probably lesser because of the 3-2-1 rule.
Yeah, but I don't think their round count's all that much less. I think they just end up having more stages.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you've got 12 round stages, 3 12-round stages, one 24-round stage, and like a 32 maybe.
Right.
A lot of IPSC matches are so well funded because they get 600 shooters paying $400 a piece, and so you don't, a lot of the competitor their staff reset.
Mm-hmm.
They're you start to see a little bit more of the higher end things because they've got the money to do it. There's $100,000 in entry fees sitting there they're working off the match for.
And I hate to say it like this, but it's also a lot of times in some third world countries where that money goes a long way to hire. They're hiring people and paying them a day's wage to come in and reset the match. That doesn't typically work in the United States because we can't afford to hire someone minimum wage to come and reset matches for us.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Although you remember Gem City, like maybe we should go run a major at Gem City and bring in the convicts. Maybe
Yeah,
they'll reset the stages for us.
yeah, they get. I don't know if it's free labor, but it's discounted.
Right, right.
Mm-hmm.
Brian said that in addition, IPSC, all sponsorships are cash and there's no prize tables.
Oh,
So maybe Brian's willing to start doing cash sponsorships for our matches.
I doubt
there we go.
it. I doubt it.
Where's the form on his website for that?
Right. I'm
I
gonna
don't
get a nasty text in a few minutes here.
Or
I
he's just
think.
gonna or he's just gonna like, my presence is your cash, bitch.
Right.
Yep.
But
Just want to keep that page bookmarked.
Exactly.
right. But
His phone number. No, I'm just kidding.
no. Yeah, do you want to be on the I will never deal with you list again?
Pretty close,
Right. So Khory, do you have any tentative dates yet for 2024 Falling Steel?
So we are hoping to get back to Rowan in the spring. We sort of need to let them, percolate on our match that we just had. Make sure that all of the board members are on board with us coming back. But we would like to get back there in the spring. We do have a tentative mid-May date for Cardinal. I do not have that in front of me. I believe it is like around the late teens or early 20s of May. That should put us there to where we're not interfering with Buckeye or anything like that. So yeah, we have that tentative.
Well, speaking of,
we are.
So go ahead. Sorry, Khory.
We are hoping to do 5 or 6 matches next year.
Well, that'll be good. I mean, it's nice to see that, people are receptive to it and ranges are wanting to host the match or allowing you to come in and host the match. Is the plan so far that we will have another shootout Falling Steel World Series side match at Buckeye Blast?
I hopefully, yes. What I would really like to do is a shoot-off at Buckeye Blast somehow, whether it's I guess it would have to be some kind of a side match scenario, but that's what I would like to see is if we are doing, match sponsorships of USPSA matches, that we are sponsoring the shoot-off stage.
Yeah.
I think that would really be good for stepping it up for everyone.
We got all Sunday afternoon on Sunday, y'all. We could do a shoot-off.
We could.
Mm-hmm.
You are talking to the current match director, so we'll figure that out.
Brian says doing anything in Florida in December, January, or February. I mean, that's probably a really good opportunity since some Florida birds like to shoot.
We would like to. I think that for how far of the travel that is for us, we need to string together another match, maybe on another weekend. So maybe something, Virginia, Tennessee, Kentucky, and then another one down into Florida.
You need to do 3, just keep going and do 3 or 4 of them just in back-to-back weeks.
Right.
Because realistically in Florida, you could probably do one of your matches during the week and run, it would be an interesting conversation, but I would wonder if you could get enough people to come out and shoot, during the week and do a match Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday up in Kentucky, and then go down to Florida and then stop in Tennessee on the way back or something like that, and keep going on down.
This is what happens when you use your tablet. No, it's more funny. Is this now, Mr. Katz? Is this more funny if he was squinting at the camera like he was earlier?
Oh, yeah, definitely. So, let's see here if I can create something real quick.
Well, while he is sideways and you are looking for something, I will state that upcoming elections for USPSA area directors are right around the corner. We are almost into 2024, so election time will be coming back around for Area 5 and Area 2. Late 2000. Area 2, Layton is up for election, and Rick Steele is He's not going to run anymore. We already know this. He's a good friend. So currently, there are 3 people for sure he's running: Christopher St. Cloud from Wisconsin, Leif Kunkel from Kentucky, and Adam Maxwell from Wisconsin. Hopefully, I've already told one of these people who are running. We're going to have them for a Area 5 live stream debate coming up in 2024.
Heck yeah.
Because, we aren't, the Casual Shooters podcast is not the only one who can do debates.
And we're going to do it live. Ask live questions from the people.
From the people?
Yeah.
All 3 of us who actually watch this show.
Hey, maybe we'll get 8 people to watch that one.
Yeah, that's true.
You never know.
This is true. The guys who actually are on it. But and then currently the only one I know running, I don't know if Leighton's running, but John Batista from the House of Speed is running in Area 2. Looks like Mr. Scheel either had a battery die or it's I don't know, it's the Wi-Fi or something.
Yeah, we'll pop back into there we go.
Yeah.
When Khory comes back, if he does, we'll get him back in here. But in the meantime, I know we're closing down the show here, but one thing I wanted to bring up was Cardinals schedule for next year.
We had to rush through all in one day. But I'm excited. I'm excited for 2024 there. That's for sure.
Brian says that he misses your face and it's better with me gone. So maybe I should just quit.
No. No, I need you because I wouldn't be able to talk this long by myself. This is why I don't do a podcast by myself. I'm not a Ben Barry. Brian did say y'all are doing a great job. Thank you for doing the show weekly. We appreciate your remarks and we enjoy the show. At least I do. I mean, Khory and I we talk to each other enough, so we might as well do it. So, Nationals dates. We already talked about Carry Optics Nationals, but World Speed Shooting Championship, 5/29 through June 2nd, down in Talladega, Alabama. So. Probably expect to see slots coming. Well, that's probably still ways for slots, but still. Be prepared if you're going to World Steel. Steel Speed. God damn, my brain is lost. Anyway, we talked about Carry Optics already. Multi-Gun Nationals in Forest Lake, Minnesota, July 19th through the 21st. Handgun Nationals in Talladega, 13th through the 15th.
Alex,
and
you going?
What, to Handgun Nationals?
Yeah.
No, we're not going to Handgun Nationals. Because we're going to go to Open PCC Nationals on 10 in October, 18th through the 20th. Speaking of, Mr. Khory Scheel is back with us in the side room. So now we are going to sideblind him and ask him, Khory, are you booking the Airbnb for Open Nationals and PCC Nationals yet?
I have not, but I will get on it.
See, there we go. We have it here first. Khory, we have found our place we're staying.
Yeah, so the tentative plan, Khory, is that Alex and Annette are going to drive down to my place, and then we're all going to drive down together to Nationals. So it's going to be a great time. I'm not working it. I'm just going to shoot it.
Yeah, we're all just going to shoot it. Well, then Fluffy might come too.
Nice.
So.
You like renting a van and renting a motorhome, doing a full road trip?
Yeah, but we're staying at your Airbnb, so make sure you get a big enough one for us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Khory and Khory can cuddle. That's not a problem.
We won't have Mike.
We had a decent one this past year. The basement was short. Anyone over 6 foot tall couldn't really use the basement rooms, but that wasn't so bad. Anthony was fine.
Yeah. Oh, we'll just pick Anthony up on our way. Perfect.
Right. I
There we
mean,
go.
if he's even able to go, I mean, he's going to have his little mini
He's
me
gonna have a
running around the
newborn by
house.
then, so
He's going to have his spawn. Corey Scheel doesn't want to think about having spawn yet, does he? You just saw that face. He's just like,
So let's close out the show here. Alex, who are your partners? See, I got it right this time.
You did get it right this time. They are partners because they are in this endeavor with me forever. As we know, we always talk about on the podcast is, why did it end up here? Thank you. Go Fast, Don't Suck. They made this banner. I love them. They do a lot of things for the shooting sport. So go check them out. Hunters HD Gold. We mentioned Brian a lot throughout the show because he's such a great partner to us all. He takes care of us as shooters. Even though we still give him money because he's our friend, we buy his products because they are worth the money. Dominate Defense. They make one of the best belts in the business if you are carrying a bunch of gear. Corey Scheel just went sideways. It's funny. Dominate Defense, DivTech. They make awesome magnets. Laugh and Load, Outdoor Dynamics. They were the title sponsor for the Falling Steel match, as Corey mentioned earlier.
I think this is actually a kind of a cool shot of Corey. We're gonna pull your thing down for a second.
Oh yeah, so people can see it.
Anyway, sorry.
That's okay. You can Summon City Bullets. We've got Range Panda, Chile Custom Gunworks, Timecaster Shooting Academy, and the most recent, but not least, 2 Alpha Apparel. Corey, it's too bad because the other guy just froze, so he's gonna miss out on this spiel. But who are your partners or sponsors?
My partners are Scheel Manufacturing. Corey Scheel makes the best buffer system, in my opinion, in the country, and he also makes some really nice stake drivers and stake pullers, as Brian mentioned. Brian's got one of his nice long shaft stake pullers, and Brian says it's revolutionary.
It just saves him from breaking his back.
Exactly. It saves me from breaking my back until I bend one up.
Yep.
So you heard it here first, folks. Corey said that they are indestructible. You can't break them, but you can bend them. I've got Hunters HD Gold. I've got a pair of all 3 of his different glasses, and I think my dad keeps buying more and more and more. So I feel like the new favorite person of the Cats family is going to be Sheldon.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with Sheldon being the favorite.
No, that's fair. We've got Victor's Legacy. Next week I'll have to bring both of my guns out and put them on the back table here.
Oh,
because,
I mean, yes, you can try that. Just don't get us kicked off.
Yeah, no. But Victor's has done a really great job. They've done both of my PCCs. I know they do a new one for Corey every year as well. They do an amazing job, and if you saw my personal social media, you saw my newest one, which looks like a Nerf gun. It's pretty sweet. And then last but not least, Excalibur Ammunition. They make some great ammunition. They make Magnum ammunition as well. So if you haven't heard it yet, go to Brian Conley's podcast, Hunters HD Gold Behind the Lens, and listen to the podcast with the manufacturer and creator of Excalibur Ammunition.
Yes, that is definitely a good choice. Go listen to that show. Somebody made a comment. Oh, yeah, I probably misspelled it when I made the show notes, so my bad. That's my bad, Brian. But anyway, go ahead and make sure, guys, we're going to end this one really quickly, but find us on social media. Search 2 Alpha News on Facebook and Instagram. We'll be better about posting on both a little bit. Just got to get a routine down between the 2 of us. But go check us out there. If you want to watch us on YouTube or Rumble, search Manny Talk Shooting, and you will find 2 Alpha News. We are there live streaming every single week.
Yes, sir.
Although we are going to skip Thanksgiving week. I'm saying that right now because
it's Thanksgiving.
I'm going to be sleeping because I'm going to eat and then I'm going to sleep.
No, but we could probably find another night if you wanted to, maybe.
Yeah, I'm off all week, so I mean, if we did one earlier in the week, that should be fine. Maybe we'll do a special show. Maybe we'll bring a special guest on. We can all figure it out. But I do want to thank everybody for joining us at 2 Alpha News the shooting community can use. I can finally say it at the end of the show. But like I said, listeners, we greatly appreciate you watching week in and week out. Without your support, it's not possible to do what we do. Go support the sponsors of the show. and the people who support us, because without them too, it's impossible. And it looks like we have a volunteer/victim to hang out with us that week of turkey stuffing, because you know what also Thanksgiving is for? Football. You know when I only watch football? Thanksgiving. I will
So,
watch
Alex, before we wrap up, what's the famous last words? Get out and do the things.
Yeah, I say that. Get out and do the things, and I will see you on the next one.